Jordi, what I've always loved about what you've done with early music is that you've always worked on the basis that all music is contemporary and that nothing from the past has lesser value just because it's from the past. How have you brought that into the mindset of the European audiences? Because very often they are used to museums, and the one thing that you've never done is put music in a museum.
Well, I think this was from the very beginning. I think I was always thinking music, it's always emotion, beauty, and it's something coming from the experience, from the information you have, or from the working on the sources. And I think the most important question when you sing and when you play is to live all the emotions and all the beauty the score has and transmit to the audience. For this, when we found an experience, we put 20, because we are thinking we play early music, we play music from other times, but this music has to be alive today, because the music is only alive possible. It's not possible to have a museum for music, only for the instruments. But music, it's every time the musician, a voice, an instrument plays, the music, it's born again. It's become something fresh. And because every human being, it's different, we will never come to end to this, because every new performance, new singers bring something different.
And with Hesperian 20 and now Hesperian 21, and indeed with your Concert National and all your various orchestras you work with, they're always changing and growing. You're not sticking with just the same people that you had at the beginning. They've always expanded. You've always brought new people, young people in.
Well, I have some musicians, they play with me for 30 or 40 years, like Pedro Esteban and many others. But I think one of the important objectives in my working today is to include the young generations and make with them a real experience of what is working, but not only learning, but also bring the music to the high level as possible during recording, during concerts. We have now in the last years, from 2010, and especially from 2019, we have started to do auditions. The actual situation we have in the orchestra, for example, we do the next Monday the Missa Solemnis with 60 musicians. 30 are for my professional musicians, from some of them young, some of them from the generation from the last time. But 30 musicians are from the different auditions we have do last year and this year. 15 are from the academies of the 21, 22, and 15 are from the new auditions. And this we conserve every year 3 parts of the orchestra with experimental musicians, and only 1 quarter of the orchestra with new young people. And this makes the stability of the quality, but bringing always fresh musicians.
When you and I started in the business, you were really the only organization in the Iberian Peninsula who was doing period instrument music and period instrument performance. Now there's this extraordinary explosion of young musicians and groups in places which, 40 years ago it was confined to you and the Netherlands and Britain.
Yeah.
Now they're all over Europe, and indeed all over the Americas too.
Yes.
Do you have a sense of achievement from that? And do you get a sense that the journey has been worthwhile?
Well, I think what is interesting it's the evolution. I mean, now there are people that are starting to learn early music from 5, 6 years old. And this is change. I have started viola da gamba when I was already 24. Cello was 14. And this changed the perspective. Now you have access to all the sources. It's more usually when we start in the 60s, it was very difficult to have to look for the original. We had to go to Paris, to British Museum, and make microfilms. It's a very different situation. And I think now it's a lot of conservatories. They also learn to play period instruments. So this time, my time, it was only a Schola Cantorum, and maybe in Germany some other person. I think the things now, it's very much more natural. There are much more people now. They are working, teaching Viol da Gamba or violin, having his own concert and playing the orchestra. There are a lot of good orchestras playing period instruments and good ensembles. The problem we have today is the most of these ensembles, they don't have enough support by the cities or by the governments, and we are suffering a lot. Especially in periods like COVID and these things. And I think I'm working with some of the groups. We create the Association of European Baroque Historical Instruments, and we are trying to convince the European Commission to create European status of the artist. You know, European musician. In my orchestra there are 15 different nationalities. For this is the Emily Concert des Nations. And it's based in France, but we play in here, we play in all Europe. And I think we need to find solutions for this, because now the modern orchestras are doing a very little part of the repertory, a very little part. And then it's not, I think it's not correct. We are doing the most important 100 years from the early medieval time, the early Renaissance, from the Baroque, from the 16th, 19th until the 19th century, and we have so small resources. I think it's a very important subject to
ironically, the freelance groups are covering 700 years of music,
yeah, exactly.
And the institutional groups are covering 150.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not so good.
Yeah.
Jordi, thank you very much. I just wanted to finally talk about your own festival and what you want to achieve with it, and how having the training scheme that you've had through the EFA Artists grant system has helped, and what your own festival wants to achieve.
I think my idea is to create not only a festival, but a moment of partage, a moment to share the beautiful music, also to invite musicians from other countries, from other cultures, and share with them an utopia. The utopia is, can we change the world with beautiful music? I think yes. I think for this we start the festival for this nice concert with 4 women singers from Iran, Afghanistan, Syria and Palestine. And so we will do also a conference about the situation of the women in these countries. And I think it's important. And we present for the first time a woman orchestra with all my young musicians, which is the orchestra from the Ospedale della Pietà, playing the music of Vivaldi. And also we will perform the Summer Nachtraum, the Summer Dream from Shakespeare and Mendelssohn, in this time with pianoforte and a group of singers of women and some young actors. And then we will do later with the orchestra in October in the Liceo, in Paris, in Hamburg, in Lyon and Athens.
Jordi Savall, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.